Hey guys, it's Eric and Eric here from Moskihomebrew.
Today we're going to demonstrate how to brew an extract kit from your local homebrew store.
Your typical extract kit from your local homebrew store will include specialty grains, a muslin bag for those specialty grains, any hop additions that you need during the boil, liquid or dry malt extract, a recipe with instructions, and yeast, which will not be included in the box. This will have to be bought separately.
The first and most important step in any homebrew is to clean and sanitize all your equipment. Anything that's going to touch the beer, you want to sanitize and clean. And two things that you can use to do that is this PBW and Star Sand. This, you can pick it up at your local homebrew store. Make sure you sanitize all of your equipment, utensils, hoses, anything you're going to use that's going to touch that beer. You don't want anything to get contaminated. It's going to give you off flavors and it's going to ruin your beer.
So the required equipment for extract brewing include a 3-gallon or larger brew pot, 6.5-gallon primary fermenter, a large spoon or paddle, airlock, hydrometer, thermometer, cleanser, and sanitizer. For doing a full boil extract kit, we recommend a 7.5-gallon or larger brew pot and also a wort chiller.
So our recommended equipment is going to give you a full boil. Our required equipment is going to give you a partial boil. And the only difference is our recommended equipment is going to give you better hop utilization and it's going to drastically reduce your cool down time.
So today we are using a Y yeast 2124 Bohemian Lager for our Oktoberfest beer. The instructions say to smack, shake, and swell. So since we are done sanitizing, we're going to go ahead and give it a smack. And shake. So in about 2 hours, this smack pack will swell up like a balloon and it will be ready to pitch.
Hello. So today we're doing a full boil in our kegel. It's 15.5 gallons. We're going to heat up 6.5 gallons of water to 160 degrees.
If you're performing a partial boil, you're going to want to fill your 3-gallon stock pot up to as full as you can, knowing that you need to add your specialty grains and your malt extract, and you don't want to cause a boil over, so make room for that also.
Alright, right now we filled our kegel up to 6.5 gallons. We're going to light our burner and get that water heated up to 160 degrees.
So now that we are at 160 degrees on our kettle with 6.5 gallons of water, we're going to go ahead and put our specialty grains into our muslin bag and soak them for 30 minutes. You got a tube sock.
Tube sock.
So our 6.5 gallons of water is now at 155 degrees. We're going to go ahead and add our muslin bag with the specialty grains into the kettle. So a trick you can do is you can actually tie your muslin bag to a handle on your kettle or kegel, and it will hold the grains in there just perfectly.
So we let our muslin bag steep for about 30 minutes now. We're going to take it off, let it drain above our wort. We're going to add our malt extract and make sure it's fully dissolved in our wort. We're going to get our boil going.
So we just added our malt extract to our boil kettle. It's all dissolved. So now we're going to get our boil going and start our flame.
So we're heating up our wort. Just before your boil, you want to pay attention. Make sure you don't get a boil over. Two things to prevent that. You can get a bottle of water, like a spray bottle. You can spray the top of your wort just as it starts to boil. You're going to prevent that boil over. Or you can get something, it's called Firm Cap. You can get it at your local homebrew store. It's really good. It only takes a couple of drops, and it will definitely prevent a boil over.
So we just started to boil and added our Firm Cap to the brew. It started boiling. We're going to add our first hop addition for 60 minutes, and then we're going to start our timer.
Banana.
So we're going to add our second hop addition of Saz 1 ounce at 30 minutes. That leaves us with 30 minutes left in the boil.
Alright guys, we're 15 minutes to the end of our boil. We're gonna get our hoses hooked up. We're gonna get our plate chiller hooked up. If you guys have a immersion chiller, you want to add that in at 15 minutes to the end of the boil. Make sure that gets sterilized so you don't get anything infected in your beer.
Eric set up all of our hoses to our plate chiller. We've got our main water, city water coming into our plate chiller, coming out, going out to the alleyway. We've got our wort side going into the chiller and coming out. We still have about 10 minutes of the boil. We're going to wait till that 10 minutes and then we're going to start chilling.
Another thing you guys can do to clarify your beer is to add Irish moss or a Werflock tablet. They each get added at 15 minutes to the end of the boil. If you're using Irish moss, you want to rehydrate this at the start of your boil because it's going to take a while to hydrate.
Today we used yeast Slat Pack, which we started earlier on. If you're using dry yeast, check out the link below for steps on how to rehydrate it. So now that we have our wort chiller all set up, ready to chill when the boil's over, we got our fermenter here ready to be cleaned and sanitized, so that's what I'm going to do now. And so we have our sanitizer and our fermenter and our washer, which uses a drill. If you don't have one of these, you may have something that looks similar to this. This is a bottling brush. They have fermenter brushes with a big L 90-degree bend in it, which you can also use. If you're going to be homebrewing a lot, I highly recommend one of these. It helps tremendously.
Alright, so we just reached our 60 minutes in our boil. We're going to turn our flame off. We're going to start chilling. Turn our pump on. We're going to let our wort cool down to about below 70 degrees. After that, we're going to pitch it to our fermenter, pitch our yeast, and put a airlock on it, and that'll be it.
So we're using our plate chiller. It's a 40 plate chiller that we bought offline to cool the wort currently. Another option is if you have a smaller stock pot or doing a partial boil, you can use an ice bath in your sink, and that's just basically taking your kettle, putting it in your sink, adding a little bit of water, cold water, and ice around it until it gets down to 65, 70 degrees. It takes much longer, and that is why a plate chiller is a great investment.
Alright, so our wort is chilled down to about 65 degrees. Ooh, that was hard. And we're gonna throw our wort into our fermenter.
So we have our 5 gallons of wort in our 6.5 gallon fermenter. I just sanitized this whole airlock and I'm going to put it on the top so we can keep it sanitized and clean. We're going to throw it in the basement, let it cool down a little bit more, and then we're going to pitch the yeast.
So we just put our beer into our fermenter. Make sure it's below 70 degrees before you pitch your yeast. Don't want to kill the yeast.
It takes about 2 weeks on average for your beer to fully ferment. With that, you can also check out our other video on secondary fermentation if you used a lot of hops in your beer or plan on dry hopping your beer.
If you guys have any questions, make sure to leave a comment below. We'll be happy to answer it. Make sure to check out our next video on bottling. There'll be a link in the description. And we'll see you guys next time.